everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got my son here, Reese, with me. He is driving us out to Akron, Colorado. We are taking our propeller out there. We're going to Redline Aviation, and they're going to be helping us with our propeller hub inspection AD. So we have a 100-hour inspection on that, and we're taking it out there to get it checked out today. So come along for the ride. We'll take you into the mechanic shop and we'll show you what they do to get the propeller checked out and signed off and ready to go. The more you know.
Morning.
Okay, I want to take a second and introduce Mark to everybody. He's one of the prop mechanics at Redline Aviation. He's got 34 years of experience in the field, and as you can see by looking around at the shop, he really takes pride in keeping a clean shop. These guys were great. He didn't even know that we were gonna ask to film any of this, but we wanted to be able to show you different types of careers that you can find in aviation. It's just not being a pilot. There's mechanics and even, specialized shops like this one here as options that are out there. Back to the action.
You got a couple bent ones over here, I see.
There are some bad ones.
Yeah.
I'm just wiping off the oil and the dirt to make sure that it's a pretty consistent surface that I'm dealing with. I can tell you a little bit about prop mechanicing. I don't know the number exactly. There's probably less than 200 propeller mechanics in the nation. Propeller mechanic is very specialized. There's 42, 43 shops. Some of them are one-man shops. Some of them are 10-man shops. Most of them, I'd say, are 2- and 3-man shops. And we do all the propeller-driven aircraft in the nation and then some. It takes over 5 years to train a prop mechanic. There are training classes at the different manufacturing facilities. So I've been to Hartzell training, I've been to Macaulay training, MT training. The repair station is allowed to run by the FAA. And the anti-current inspection I'm about to do for this, I can see that this doesn't appear to be a real high time prop. Power on, scan, paper off, scan again. Wait for the second beep, boom, there. Now I'm calibrated. This year hub is really tough to inspect because of the sharpness of this corner right in here. So what I end up doing is just going straight through it to start with. But it's also a stronger hub than the original hubs, so I've never seen one of these cracked yet.
So is this kind of like an ohm measurement? Are you looking for resistance?
We are inducing a magnetic field into the aluminum.
Okay.
So that's what an eddy current actually is. It's almost like a sonar pulse of magnetism.
Okay.
And so we're getting a feedback on that. And if we have a discrepancy in that, then that's what we're reading is the discrepancy.
Yeah.
This is a very basic eddy current inspection. It's a very, very basic piece of equipment. We set it up, and then we look for the single discrepancy in this one area. And then if we find it, then, we've saved a life, basically.
Right,
but,
right.
And I've found them before, but I've been doing this a long time. It's only required to do the front side of these, but I figure if I've got it off the airplane, I'll do both sides.
If it's accessible, right?
Exactly, why not? Yeah, prop mechanics, man. Who knew? I saw an ad in the paper one day, and for a propeller mechanic. Propeller mechanic. What the heck is that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about moving parts in a propeller either.
Yeah.
And so I went out to the shop and I looked around. And I told him, "This is great. This looks very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll take it." He didn't offer it
You
to
didn't,
me.
yeah.
He didn't offer it to me. He wasn't that thrilled with me. No indications.
Start doing cartwheels and stuff. As we start the tour of the shop, I just want to say again, you know, how wonderful Mark was to give us a tour. He was open to anything, didn't mind if we filmed wherever. He was certainly not hiding anything. And again, as you go around and see what we got to look at, you can see that he really, you know, keeps a clean shop and takes pride in that. Here we go with the tour.
This is what we call the blast room. We try to keep it all in here to keep the mess down. But this big cabinet, well, it's big so we could do fixed pitch propellers. And it uses a plastic media.
Okay.
So literally, I don't know if you're familiar with plastic blasting. It's pieces of plastic. It's the kind of plastic that when it breaks with sharp edges on it.
Okay.
Okay, and so that starts out, you can see how some of it's a more fine dust and some of it's bigger pieces.
Yeah.
It starts out as a lot bigger plastic, and every time it goes through, like this would be what it's like new. So it's pretty good size, and as it hits, it'll break in two, let's say.
Okay.
And then it goes through the system, hits again, those two pieces break in two, and pretty soon it's just dust, and it gets sucked out through there's a way of a vacuum and a filter system and everything. So when it's lighter than air, it just gets sucked out as dust.
Okay.
That will not hurt the aluminum or steel or any of that, and that's good for getting any of your paints, silicones, Permatexes, any of that type of stuff off of there. It's handy to have. These three cabinets are steel shot. So if we have different cabinets for different things, you know, the lead holes, the knobs of the blades, the inside the hubs and everything.
Yeah.
This cabinet you're looking at right here is glass bead. Glass bead is finer than the plastic, and it's a little bit harder, but the glass bead actually can hurt the aluminum. When it hits the aluminum, it can start to bend the aluminum, it can start to fold it over and that kind of thing. So you always have to be super careful when you're glass beading the aluminum parts. You have a very limited amount of time. This takes some real training before someone can be trusted doing it.
To know how much you're using.
Yeah, some of the parts you'll scrap them by over glass beading.
Okay.
So you don't want to do that with a $5,000 hub. So that's the blast room. Grinding room, which we have right here, this is a composite blade right now, so we're just getting ready to strip some paint on it. But all of our aluminum blades happen in here when we have all the different types of different grits of paper, the disking and everything. This is like an air bladder wheel that's on the grinder.
Oh yeah.
And that is so it can, because of the compound curves and everything of your airfoil. And this is real dirty right now, but I can still kind of show this part of it. This is similar to what it will look like after a finish grind. So this is actually a training blade. I bang it up, put a bunch of holes in it and everything, and I get a new guy and I have him show him how to grind it and keep going until he can make it nice.
Oh, nice.
So that's how we train it anyway. But,
yeah.
But yeah, so the damage, we were talking about the damage, you take out the damage.
Yeah.
You can't weld onto this at all. So do welding, you can do some cold straightening, no hot, no heat.
Okay.
And you can do the grinding to remove the big nicks and the leading edges. Like a car tire though, you're limited on your life. How much can you remove? Well, the book tells us on every blade, like this particular blade might have this much width. We'll be checking it out before we start grinding. Whatever it has on it, that's what we have for width. Every station will be measuring the cord, measuring the thickness, and we'll be checking the angles, every one of them. Everything has to match. The profiles have to match, all that. But all the real dirty stuff happens in here.
Okay.
So, yeah, the 10-second tour, I guess.
Yeah.